Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl, allegedly A-lease, and I'm here to give you my thoughts and my views on Married at First Sight. Can you believe what Chris said? Let's talk about it. So before we get into it, please make sure that you hit the like button as well as subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you will be updated on each and every video that I upload. So y'all, let's get into it. So we open it up on the last two couples that have not gotten married yet. Of course, that is Chris and Paige and Jacob and Haley. So as Jacob and Haley prepare to walk down the aisle and meet each other for the first time, we see Jacob give his last minute thoughts on what he would like to see in a bride, and we find out that Jacob likes big noses and he cannot lie. Haley says she's not afraid to walk away. Haley said, if I don't like this man, I'm running. And her father is right there saying, I got your back. I got the car running outside. Let me know. We can hit the dough and go. So we see Haley walk down the aisle, and I will say Haley looked amazing. All of the ladies looked amazing. They really did pull their looks together, and I say that only because they had to pick out dresses in the middle of a pandemic, which is kind of hard when a lot of these stores probably reduced their inventory. So these ladies really did look stunning. But Haley gets down the aisle, and of course they open it up with words from the family and friends on both ends. You can see just how different these two are by how he is receiving the information and the lightheartedness within the information that's being given about Haley. Everyone's laughing, having a good time, including Haley, and he's just locked and loaded, focused, and I don't think I saw him crack one smile. As they walk out, we see the father kind of make a face, and it looks like he's very unamused by Jacob. And so I really hope that time will allow Jacob and the father to really bond. And again, Jacob's going to have to let his guard down. So hopefully, as time progresses, they'll make that connection. But the father definitely gave me the Jamie and Beth season where Beth's father had that look of, there's nothing you could really do for my daughter. And so we see that they worked out. So hopefully Haley and Jacob will work out as well. So while they have a quick moment to talk and kind of relax and get to know each other before they have to take their pictures, it really is an awkward conversation that has to be led by Haley. But we did find out that Jacob loves his steak and eggs. He will eat steak and eggs morning, noon, and night. Green eggs and ham, Sam I am. That's all I want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is green eggs and ham, Sam I am. And I hope that Haley is ready to make his steak and eggs morning, noon, and night. And I hope she doesn't mind making an additional meal for herself if she doesn't want steak and eggs. Because this man says he's not budging. He wants steak and eggs. Get ready, sis. Now, I will give Jacob some credit. During the pictures, he awkwardly kind of walked over to her friends and, you know, he said, go ahead and ask me everything that you want to ask me, interrogate me. And I think it was his way of trying. And I will really give Haley kudos for quickly noticing that and giving him that credit, because that's going to go a long way. A little goes a long way with someone like Jacob. And she's going to have to reinforce whenever he's doing something right so that he knows to continue on that path, because he's very regimented. It's clear, green eggs and ham, Sam I am, that he is very regimented. So we move into the reception, and I will say this. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me write a quick letter. Dear Married at First Sight, please add dance lessons to your checklist. Signed, Concerned Viewer. On behalf of Haley. Poor Jacob tried his hardest to dance, and it was so cute because he was making a good college effort to do it, and he was there and present in the moment. But I think it would only be fair that you give them one or two good dance lessons, and I know that they won't see each other in advance, but partner her up with a guy dancer and partner him up with a girl dancer and teach them the same routine. That way they're prepared when they meet each other, because it really does take some of the anxiety down. And I felt like Jacob unnecessarily had a mark against him for being awkward in that moment. And dancing is just not everyone's thing. So we get a quick glance back at the other couples who have already gotten married, and we see Eric talking to Virginia's family and friends, and they're saying, you know, hey, she loves concerts, she loves to go out, she loves to spend time with her friends, she's very social, she's quite active. And Eric says, well, that's just not me. It's not going to happen. I'm very chill. I like to hang out at the house. I don't want to be out, which is clearly going to be a concern as time progresses. They're going to have to meet each other in the middle. So, okay, you may have to take her to a more relaxed type concert, whereas she goes out with her friends to some of the more rock out type concerts. And you just have to be willing to let her do that. And it doesn't feel like Eric is that type of guy. Eric catches me as the guy that wants to see his wife at home by a certain time every single day following work. No happy hours, no friend time. That's just the feeling I get. I may be wrong, but these are just my views and opinions. That's why I want you to drop down in the comments and let me know how you feel about it. But Eric talks to her mother and she gives the same advice, and he says, well, you know, I'm very traditional. And then I'm reminded Eric was married once before. Eric, you're going to have to do something different. Whatever you did the first time, do the opposite. Do me that favor. Do the opposite for Virginia and for your future. It's only fair because clearly it didn't work out the first time. And that same approach cannot happen in this relationship. Virginia seems very fun-loving and easygoing. He really makes her smile, which I think is so cute. And he gets real goofy and smiles back about, oh, I kissed her. You know, and I just think that that's that innocent love. But I hope that he doesn't smother her is my biggest concern for Eric. So let's talk about our heroes for the night. We had to have some true heroes that kind of saved the day. And I will say that it was Vincent and Ryan. They were getting along with the family, meshing well, taking advice, offering patience, and I loved it on both parts. We heard Vincent pull the father aside for Brianna and have a heart-to-heart with him, and they bonded, and it was really a relief for him. And so at that point, he moved on to the friends, which actually can be harder than the parents sometimes. And, you know, they said, well, what are you doing? What are your expectations for tonight? And he said, patience. And I'm thinking, good job. Good job. You win a cookie today. Good job. Give him that Cracker Jack prize. Now, I saved the best for last because there is a lot to unpack with Chris and Paige. As soon as Chris sees Paige walk down the aisle, he says, oh, snap. And actually, he used the other word, but I'm just going to say, oh, snap. And the way he looks when he says it tells me everything that I need to know. He's not attracted to Paige. Now, Chris. So Paige makes it down the aisle, and she's beautiful and stunning, and I look up and I be doggone if I see that pastor one more time. Now, this pastor has been in every single scene that Chris has had. I swear, I even think probably when they stopped filming, he showed up to the bachelor party. This pastor is more than just a friend. I don't know who this man is, but this man, pastor, don't pop up at the honeymoon. Pastor, if I see you pop up at the honeymoon, we're going to have some issues, okay? So Chris reads his vows, and they're kind of Chris-like. And Paige is reading her vows to him, and I am so caught off, I can't even understand what she's actually saying because Chris is answering as if it's terms and conditions to a Facebook account. Yes. I agree. Yes. Yes. Okay. So they're pronounced husband and wife. You may kiss your bride, Chris. All right. So, how do you want to do this? You want to kiss right here? You want to kiss right here? You want to kiss right here? Like, where you want to kiss it? Like, Chris, give a girl a peck and move on. Like, I don't think she's expecting that much. She doesn't know you. So after the wedding ceremony, they're having their downtime before the pictures, and Paige is all smiles about Chris. She is really smitten by Chris. And Chris takes the time to wipe that smile from poor Paige's face when she asked her about her tattoos, and she asked him, do you have any tattoos? And he said, yeah, I have one. And so she said, oh, okay. You got the cross. When did you get that? Oh, I just got it. I got it to cover up a tattoo that me and my ex got. Just tell her you just got it. Period. You just got it. Leave the ex out. Ex for a reason. It's your past. Move forward. Mr. Preacher, you turn to a pillar of salt looking backwards. Mr. Preacher. Chris, shut up. Stop talking. Don't say anything. Go get your pastor friend, since he likes to be in every scene. Let him have the conversation for you, because clearly you do a bad job of it. You suck at it, Chris. Swear this part-time preacher is getting on my nerves. Paige politely changes the subject of the conversation to make things lighter, and she starts talking about her dog. And she says, I hope that you love dogs, and my ex had a dog. She talks about the type of dog. My ex had that dog. Chris, shut up, okay? Don't say anything else, please. And then Chris lays it out for her. I used to be engaged and I just called off my engagement. Paige briefly shares with her family that she has some concerns based off of the brief conversation that they have, but she really doesn't have a chance to go into too much detail yet with her family. Can I say that it breaks my heart to have to watch how Paige is going through this, and she's feeling the disconnection that we see. And that's really hard because some people, they don't see it until they watch back. Miles and Karen is a good example. We were all yelling at the TV screen last season, and for some reason, Miles didn't get it until he watched it back. Sometimes when you're in it, you don't see it, but she could actually feel it. And that was a hard scene to watch because she felt the disconnection that we all saw. Chris continues to make the statement that she's great on paper. They're great on paper together. They're a power couple on paper together, but as far as everything else, not so much. So at the reception, while they're taking a moment to eat, we hear Chris's wonderful story about how he picked himself up from his bootstraps, his pursuit of love and happiness, Will Smith living homeless in a car situation. And I'm not laughing at the fact that he was homeless, because there are a lot of people out here that struggle. But Chris sounds like he chose to be homeless when he has family and friends that are so quote unquote well-to-do in the world of religion and in the church community. So Chris chose to continue to live in Florida rather than go back home with his parents to rebuild himself. And so that's why I pull out the violin for him, because I really do think that Chris is trying to be that person to have a story when there is no story. Chris is quite dramatic, if you ask me. Now, Chris said something that catches me off guard. Now, I really had to go pour myself a drink after this one. Chris said, I used to have an ego. Used to? Used to? Used to. You still do. So we get a little deeper into the conversation now while they're eating at the reception, and Chris wants a prize for announcing that he abstained from sex 3 days prior to getting married. I'm sorry, he abstained from any activity sexually prior to getting married. Good for you, Chris. But then this stranger looks over at Paige and says, "Are you on birth control?" You don't know this woman's name. You don't know this woman's phone number. You've never seen where this woman lives. You don't know her hygiene situation. Not saying that she has one whatsoever. You don't know anything about her. And you ask this woman if she was on birth control? The father comes up to make a toast, and while I had high hopes for this toast coming from a minister, I was quickly let down. He had the same spiel that Chris had about having kids. You know, Chris says that he wants a honeymoon baby with a stranger. The father says he wants them to have kids and have them ASAP. I see where Chris gets it from. So they take a moment to go and talk with each other's family and friends. And while poor Paige is talking to Chris's family, the father is still going on and on about keeping the legacy going, having a Chris the third, and he really wants them to go ahead and start working on kids immediately. And Chris has needs. You need to meet those needs. Sir, do you know this woman's last name? Stop talking about stuff that you have no business discussing with this woman on day one. Day one. Meanwhile, the mother is so sweet and polite, and she says, you know, you got to be patient with each other, forgive each other, don't go to bed mad, take your time on having kids. And the father cuts his eyes to his wife like, I'm going to get you when we get home. I said I want some grandkids, and I want them now. Sir, listen to your wife. He that finding a wife findeth a good thing. So you need to listen. Let that be your person, your representative that speaks on your behalf from now on. Please, Brother Chris's father. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Chris is over here sticking his foot further in his mouth. He's going to tell anyone that'll listen about his ex. He immediately tells them about his ex and that he just got out of an engagement. And at this point, Chris has nothing left to hide. He's just laying his cards all out there for the friends and says, you know, your girl is not my type of girl. You know, maybe she's what I need, but not what I want. Chris says that he's used to a very prissy, uppity woman that is all about brand names. And I just don't think every beautiful woman is all about spotlight and fame and brand names. I really don't think there's more to life than just whatever tag you can put on your back, where this person may not necessarily like you. That's a whole nother video. But you can continue to wear brands where you don't even know the brand creator. You don't know anything about them. You don't know how they feel. You don't know how they feel about you buying their stuff. So I digress. But Chris says that he's used to that type of woman, and they say, well, you got the wrong girl. But that doesn't make her less of a beautiful woman, which I completely agree. In the end, I found it very offensive that the only thing that Chris could continuously do is compliment her body, and especially her butt. He continuously went back to her butt. He's even still talking about her butt when he talks amongst his friends and family, and they're saying, you know, you got yourself something good here, Chris. And he's saying, yeah, you know, she has a good body. Chris, they're talking about Paige as a person, not as a piece of meat, sir. They're not just talking about her backside. They're complimenting the totality of Paige. Join in the club. You're the husband. You should be the president of that club. Paige is talking to her friends, and she's starting to kind of, you know, release and peel back some of the layers of her concern. And they actually took a moment to defend him in their own way and just say, you know, move with caution, but maybe off camera, and maybe because this is her special day, they're deciding not to address it immediately. But as a friend, I really would have huddled up and figured out a way to tell her, no matter what, make sure that you don't let your guard down too early. You take your time and get to know this man before you give into this man, physically and mentally. And they let her down in that manner as friends. But I really do think that they just didn't know how not to rain on her parade for that day. They wanted her to smile and push through that particular moment, because you could see that Paige was feeling the disconnect at that point, and we were also feeling the disconnect at that point. And that's where we leave it. So I would love to know how you feel about this episode of Married at First Sight, especially about Mr. Chris. So again, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload any videos. But let's chat about it down in the comments. Until the next time, I'm allegedly A-lease. Peace.